Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here. Today, we're going to break down a truly captivating fixture from the 2026 World Cup. We're looking at that thrilling quarterfinal matchup between France and Morocco that recently unfolded in Boston. We're going to completely unpack the tactics, the drama, and those critical key moments that decided who moved one step closer to lifting that iconic trophy.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, the quarterfinal clash in Boston itself. Then, we'll look at Mbappe's roller coaster match, France's tactical dominance, the whole Argentini referee subplot, and finally, the end of Morocco's historic run.
So, kicking things off with Section 1, the quarterfinal clash in Boston, and the decisive result.
2-0. That was the final scoreline, with France ultimately ending the Atlas Lions' remarkable campaign with a clean sheet. Now, the atmosphere at the Boston Stadium was just electric. You had two incredibly talented nations with their World Cup dreams hanging in the balance. Morocco was looking to replicate that magical semifinal run from Qatar, and France was just on a mission to keep dominating. It was a decisive result for sure, but you know how football is. The final score only tells part of the story. To really get how this game was won and lost, we have to look closer at the individual battles on the pitch.
Moving right into Section 2, Mbappe's roller coaster match, which is basically a micro-narrative of redemption.
Seriously, you simply cannot talk about this game without focusing on the French captain, Kylian Mbappe. Talk about an eventful 90 minutes. Early in the first half, he wins a penalty, but after this really long delay before he could actually take the kick, his tame effort was saved by the brilliant Moroccan goalkeeper Yassine Bouno. Now, for a lot of players, missing a penalty in a high-stakes World Cup quarterfinal, that would completely shatter their confidence for the rest of the game. But Mbappe, he just shrugged off that early failure. He came out in the second half and absolutely took over, scoring a crucial goal himself and then providing a beautiful assist for his teammate, Ousmane Dembélé. And to put that into perspective, take a look at the number 8. With that second-half strike, Kylian Mbappe took his massive tournament goal tally to 8 goals. 8. It's a staggering number that really just highlights how completely instrumental he's been to France's whole attacking evolution during this World Cup.
All right, Section 3, France's tactical dominance. Let's analyze the on-pitch battle.
And this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast between the two sides. To really grasp the flow of this match, we have to look at it through the eyes of Morocco's leadership. France basically enjoyed very comfortable possession, completely controlling the game's tempo right from the opening whistle. On the flip side, Morocco really struggled in transition. Whenever they actually managed to win the ball back, they just lacked the freshness and the creative ideas needed to launch an effective counterattack. And because Morocco couldn't punish them on the break, France was able to just sit in a very comfortable defensive zone all match long. We actually have direct evidence of this overwhelming French attacking pressure from Morocco's head coach, Mohamed Abi himself. He was super candid about it, saying they had a lot of possession, they caused a lot of problems on the flanks with their players, and also in the center. He openly acknowledged that the first half was incredibly tough for his side and that the French were simply just very good with the ball, created the better chances, and totally deserved the win. Which brings us to Section 4, the Argentine referee's subplot, officiating under the microscope. Even before a ball was kicked, everyone was buzzing about an officiating appointment that found itself intensely in the spotlight. To understand why, you have to know this number, 10. The appointed referee for this match was Facundo Tello from Argentina. Now, Tello is famously known for a 2022 Argentine Super Cup match between Boca Juniors and Racing Club, where he handed out a staggering 10 red cards following multiple fights. He actually had to abandon the game because Boca didn't have enough players left on the pitch to legally continue. So yeah, that firmly established his reputation as a strictly no-nonsense official. So you might be wondering, why exactly did this specific officiating appointment cause such a massive stir for the France versus Morocco game? What were the surrounding factors that had the international media asking so many questions? Well, let's impartially lay out the facts. First, it wasn't just Tello. The entire officiating team, including assistants Juan Pablo Bellotti and Gabriel Chade, was from Argentina. Second, and crucially, Argentina was still actively competing in the 2026 tournament, which obviously raised a few eyebrows regarding potential conflicts of interest. Third, Tello's disciplinary record speaks for itself. Over 75 red cards and 2,000 yellow cards issued since 2012. And finally, adding a little extra tension to the mix, France's Michael Olise came into the match just one single yellow card away from being suspended for a potential semifinal. Now, what's really interesting about this is how the French squad handled all this intense external noise. Basically,
They completely dismissed it. French defender Dayot Upamecano made their stance crystal clear, stating, "I'm not going to focus on who the referee will be. We've never done that before. We're going to focus on Morocco."
And goalkeeper Robin Risser totally reinforced his teammates' focus, stating, "If these referees are there, it's because they're up to the level of the competition." The players showed complete, unwavering trust in the tournament's officials, refusing to let the media narrative distract them from the job at hand. Finally, Section 5, Morocco's historic run ends, and the emotional aftermath of it all. We really have to talk about the emotional weight of this result. Morocco's highly impressive campaign came to an end 4 years after their magical semifinal run in Qatar. But Coach Wabi offered some incredibly mature, grounded takeaways for his team. First, he emphasized that there is absolutely no room for regret when you reach a World Cup quarterfinal. He urged his players to keep their heads held high because they gave their absolute best against a top-tier opponent. However, he also stressed that they can't just be happy and proud. They have to engage in objective self-criticism and honestly assess their tactical shortcomings to keep improving. And I love this part. He set a clear future goal: to keep progressing, to work even harder, and potentially avenge this defeat by eliminating France 4 years down the line. But as for France, the journey continues right now. This victory sets up a massive semifinal clash where they'll face off against either Spain or Belgium. The tournament bracket is really heating up, and Liz Blues are one step closer to their ultimate goal. Which leaves us with this final burning question. Will France's attacking evolution, spearheaded by an incredibly resilient Kylian Mbappe, lead them all the way to the 2026 trophy? The semifinals await, and if this match was any indicator, we are in for some truly spectacular football. Thank you so much for joining me today for this explainer. Keep your curiosity sharp, and I'll catch you next time.